Hey guys, this is Sky from Pixabyte, and today we're taking a look at BattleBlock Theater, a brand new platformer that just released on the Xbox Live Arcade from developer The Behemoth. Now I'm sure that any of you guys who are even remotely familiar with indie games, which I'm sure all of you are, probably know about The Behemoth. They are a very renowned developer of indie games, and they were the creators of the highly successful Castle Crashers Xbox Live Arcade game. And naturally, because of the success of Castle Crashers and the fact that it was such a popular game, a lot of people were expecting, something even better from them with their next game, which turned out to be this little gem, which is called BattleBlock Theater. Now, the basic premise of this game is that you are in a prison/theater controlled by evil cats, and after a tragic shipwreck, you and your friend Hattie McHaddington, all your fellow friends, were trapped on this island. Hattie McHaddington was conveniently controlled by an evil hat that the cat's placed on his little head, and you're trying to go and rescue him and the rest of your friends from this prison. And yeah, it's a very, very simple game, very simple story. The Behemoth has never really been known for intricate storytelling, because it really doesn't have to have intricate storytelling. It's simple, and it just works within the story, and that's really all you really need to expect from a Behemoth game. So it's a very simple story, but it has a very awesome narrator, and he probably adds the most life to this game. There is some very funny stuff in this game because of the narrator. He's a genuinely funny character, and it definitely actually had me laughing quite a few times, genuinely. This wasn't just kind of a chuckle here or there. I was actually kind of rolling on the floor laughing, especially when I was playing with my friends. So this is a game that actually has a very good sense of humor, very, very funny, very fun to play through, and every single kind of narration you'll go through is awarded to you at the end of every kind of set of levels you have. So there definitely feels like there's a kind of reward for playing this game, because every single time you go and finish off a level, you're going to be going off to a little narrative section that is outrageously funny, and because of that, you actually feel that there's a reward at the end of each level. And yeah, so it makes the game feel like it's very rewarding. And I should also mention this game has a lot of multiplayer modes, a lot of special modes. It has, I think, about 6 multiplayer modes. It has a co-op story, which is basically the same story as the single-player one, but the difference is the fact that it actually modifies the levels to go and make them appropriate for co-op play. So you're going to have to be doing a lot of kind of timing with your co-op partner. And it actually makes the game really fun to play co-op, because it's not just kind of like, oh, the same levels over again, but now I have a friend. You're actually going and playing with a friend on slightly different levels that actually make the game more challenging, because you're having to coordinate with another friend. And yeah, it makes the game really fun. There's a lot of replayability with this. But not only is there a single-player mode, not only is there a multiplayer mode, not only are there co-op modes, and you also have a very, very nice level editor. So this game basically has everything. It has a ton of content, and it's really, really ridiculous. A lot of that stuff was actually added in late in development, and it works really, really well. So if you want to go and make your own level that you can go and challenge your friends to, go ahead and do it. You can do it, and it is a lot of fun to create levels. Very simple, and it gives this game a lot of longevity, because the community is going to be working on levels, and so you can definitely imagine this kind of having the same appeal that Trials has, where, you're having a community of really intelligent people who are going and making really, really good maps. And yeah, it's just, this game is chock full of just really great content, and I highly suggest that you guys check it out. But I should go ahead and just point out that, naturally, as you can see, the gameplay seems like it's very, very simple, and for the most part it is pretty simple. There's nothing overly complex about, what you do in this game. You are just going and doing basic platformer stuff, jumping on tiles, trying to get stuff, and yeah, it's a very basic game, but it's very fun, and it does become more complex later on. I have played through this game, as I said before, and the later levels, especially in the co-op section, will have you raging. And it's not because this game is necessarily unfair. It doesn't feel cheap or anything, but you will have moments, and those moments will make you want to pull your hair out. And it's just because this game becomes really challenging later on, especially when you're having to coordinate with a friend. But as I said before, it does not feel unfair. This game is a very balanced little platformer, and so it's nice to play a game that is fun to play, but also very challenging and sometimes infuriating, without, just basically BSing. And you also have to go and manage these enemies right here, and as you've been seeing, I will have to go and sometimes dodge them in order to get these precious little gems. And the gems are basically your kind of score. The more gems you get, the better. And so if you go and get more gems, you're gonna get a higher letter grade, and you can also get the yarn that I just picked up right there, which there's 1 yarn ball per level, and those yarn balls will basically go and give you bonuses. So if you want to go and get that A++ rating, you need to go and get a good time, you need to go and get all the gems, and you also need to go and get the yarn. And now that we've gone and finished our first 3 levels, we can now go over to the gift shop, which is another aspect of this game that's really, really fun. You can go and use the yarn balls to go and get a new weapon if you want to. Right now I have the fan. But the main aspect of this game is you can actually go and use these prisoner concession devices. Now, these prisoner concession devices do exactly what they say they do. They go and give you prisoners. And what that means is basically, if I go and try to buy a prisoner for 15 gems, which it starts off at 10, but as you go and get more, it'll go up to 15 and possibly even higher later on, I don't know. But as you go and get more, you'll start to be able to buy prisoners for much more money, and as you can see there, I went and got a guy in a little top hat with a mustache, kind of a fancy little square-headed guy, and this is basically how you go and get new players. You go and just get new guys you can go and use, and that's basically how you go and get new prisoners, which is really, really nice. And up here is the weapon tools section, so if you want to go and get some new weapons like my fan, you go over there. You can also go and trade with friends, so if you have a item that your friend really wants, you can go and trade it with him. If he has an item that you really want, you can go and have him trade with you, and so on and so forth. So this game has a lot of kind of trading possibilities. It has a lot of things you can go and unlock, and it's really, really fun to just kind of, you know, randomly stick a gem, or I guess 15 gems, into one of these concession devices and see what you get next. It's just, you know, the same feeling you get whenever you have a concession device at any kind of place in real life. So it's a lot of fun to go and, you know, find new prisoners and put them on your character. And as you can see, I can go and switch through all these different characters I have. I have all these different kinds of characters, and they're sorted by their kind of their shape. So these circle ones are specifically for the circle head, and I have things like this Dracula, I have this weird fish thing, I have a guy with a cat on his head, I have this guy that has a very strange phallic looking thing on his head, who knows, I have a luchador, and so on and so forth. And I believe I got I think it was a square, I think I had that gentleman. I want to go and get that gentleman, didn't mean to do that. And that looks like it's kind of like Darth Vader or something. TV head. But I want to get that gentleman. Where is the gentleman? Gentleman, where are you? There he is. We have our gentleman. We can also change our team color. So if I want to be pink team, I can be pink team. And here are all the weapons you can possibly get. I'll go and use my little frog guy. So this game allows for a lot of customization, which is really, really nice. And we're going to go and continue on to our next level. The levels will kind of change in between batches. So you have their, like, the first 3 batches, or the first 3 in one batch, then the next 3 are in their second batch, and so on and so forth. And they progressively get a little bit harder. They'll introduce new mechanics, they'll go and introduce new enemies, and so the game starts kind of, you know, getting a little more complex as it goes along, but it doesn't throw too much at you all at once, which is nice. It doesn't just kind of say, it's like, oh hey, let's go and give you, you know, 4 new enemies to go and fight off at once. It just kind of goes and throws in things every now and then, and keeps the game fresh, but doesn't make it infuriating, because you don't want to just be thinking, it's like, god damn, they don't really give me time to kind of figure out what I need to do. I'm just constantly being bombarded by enemies. So in that respect, this game does a really good job of pacing itself. And yeah, so this is a pretty basic level, but they get very, very difficult later on. This is actually really weird to be playing on simple levels when, you know, later in this game you're playing on ridiculously hard ones. And I have missed a few gems here and there, and as you can see, you do have to do a lot of timing, so if you're not a person who likes a platformer game that focuses on timing, then you may not enjoy this. But as a person who doesn't really mind timing, this is actually quite fun. And later on, you actually have to really get your timing down, especially if you're playing co-op. It's ridiculous how much timing is required for like successfully passing co-op levels. But yeah, we just need to try to pass through these cats. These cats can be very, very annoying. You can kill them, they can kill you, so on and so forth. And so we were able to get some of our gems. I think we probably missed one. There was that one at the beginning, which for some reason I couldn't figure out how to get that one. Probably did it just by being stupid. I don't know how I passed that one up, but we ended up getting a B. Really, really sad score, but hey, I just want to kind of rush through that. And yes, I should also mention that there's a arena mode, which is for each individual kind of storyline. You can go and do like a single player arena, you can do a co-op arena, and that just basically pits you against enemies and you can go and kill them, and it's a lot like the arena mode from Castle Crashers. If you played that from Castle Crashers, you know what it's like. And the last thing I should go and talk about is the fact that this game also has some different difficulties. There are the normal difficulty, which is a, you know, just standard difficulty I'm playing right now. Then you have Insanity, which Insanity will drive you insane. Basically every time you die in Insanity mode, you will go and have to restart from the very beginning of the level. which in and of itself may not all sound all that bad, but trust me, later on when you're having to go through 30 different steps to complete a level, and you're having to go back all the way to step 1, you can probably understand why that'd be a little frustrating. But I'm coming to the end of this level here, and I'm coming to the end of my little commentary, but I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video of this game. As I said before, it is a very fun game, has some very, very nice comic moments. I unfortunately wasn't able to show them within this time frame, but I can assure you that they are very, very funny. If you found Castle Crashers funny at all, if you found their kind of humor to be funny, then I assure you, you will find this game just as funny, if not more so. And yeah, so I'm going to go and finish it off with that rather poor performance. But if you're looking for an excellent indie platformer, make sure to check this game out on the Xbox Live Arcade for 1,200 Microsoft points. I assure you that it is worth every penny. And make sure to tune into Pixabite.tv for more indie news and videos, and follow me on Twitter at SkyGW. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day, and see you guys later.